You've come to the right place if you're looking to create, launch, and scale a high-value online training program. I'm your guide, Chris Badgett. I'm the co-founder of LifterLMS, the most powerful learning management system for WordPress. Stay to the end. I've got something special for you. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome back to another episode of LMScast. I'm joined by a special guest. His name is Moise. He's from Cloudways, which is a hosting company. I keep hearing Cloudways come up in the LifterLMS community as a go-to host that just does a great job with Lifter sites and other quote heavier sites like e-commerce sites and membership sites, LMS. When the website is more than just a brochure for a business and has a lot of dynamic content and concurrent users and all this stuff, you need a little bit higher level hosting, and Cloudways delivers a great product at a great price. Moise, welcome to the show. So I want to get into it with you first. What is the Cloudways difference? Like, if you were to say, like, what makes Cloudways unique in the space, what is it?
All right, so to understand that and to answer that question, I will have to take you back to the story of how Cloudways began and why it began in the first place. All right, so the main idea behind Cloudways is to simplify the hosting process, the entire thing of owning a website and then hosting it to make it go live for the public. Now, every website owner needs a host, but not every website owner understands the entire hosting process. All right, so the Cloudways model was made for people who wants to lay off the burden of hosting their websites and then letting us manage that, manage those things for them. All right, so the main difference between Cloudways and all the other hosting companies out there is that Cloudways basically simplifies the entire hosting process, and the features that we have on Cloudways are completely customer centric. And every feature that we have on Cloudways, there's a lot of research, a lot of data that gets studied and analyzed behind the scenes before a feature is taken live on the platform or on our product. So everything is very customer centric. We listen to our customers and we make sure that all the features that we have on our platform, on our service is providing a specific or a certain value to our customers. It's not like we have all this bunch of customers and all the bunch of features and they're useless for our customers. It's not like that. All the features that we have, we make sure that they add value to our product, and that the price that our customers are paying to us, it is completely justified. So to sum it up, Cloudways is a more customer-centric company. We listen to our customers through our user voice that we have on Cloudways, and then we try to implement those features on our product to make sure that our customers get every bit of value from what they pay to Cloudways.
That's awesome. And I can tell just going through your website how customer centric you are. A lot of hosting websites get really in the weeds on the technical, which isn't for most people. So it's like I can go through your site and I can really understand it as a regular user, which is awesome and actually extremely rare in the hosting industry. A question for you. One of the things I noticed with Cloudways is that I can select my server from different providers like Amazon web servers and stuff like that. What does that choice involve? Like, we have the application layer like WordPress for people watching this show, but then you can also select your server. What does that mean? And how do we know which one we should pick?
All right, so to understand that, we need to first understand what the difference between all these 5 providers. All right, so the first basic difference is the price. Since we want everyone to come to Cloudways and choose Cloudways as their hosting provider, we offer different cloud providers with different price tags. For example, DigitalOcean starts from $10 a month. This is our most affordable hosting plan. So even if a small website owner who doesn't have a lot of budget, who cannot afford a $30 or $50 cloud hosting or managed cloud hosting, he can still experience that managed cloud hosting at just $10 a month. All right, so this is one of the reasons why we have 5 different cloud providers, so that it fills every person's budget. Another reason is that AWS and Google Cloud are there for more complex websites. So, for example, if you have a huge e-commerce store with tens and thousands of products and thousands of users logging in each and every day, So that makes a website very complex, and difficult to manage. AWS and Google Cloud are the two providers that we have, that are more suitable for those kind of websites. Vultr and DigitalOcean and Linode, those are pretty good as well. We have benchmarked Vultr high frequency against DigitalOcean and other cloud providers, and we found out that Vultr high frequency is better in terms of performance. So another reason to have 5 different cloud providers is to is for the users and customers to basically choose according to their requirements. Every user, every customer has its own different requirements, and these 5 cloud providers fills in all those requirements that our customers might have. Now, how to choose which one is the best cloud provider? Now, that completely depends on what type of website you have. For example, if you are a small time blogger and you have around 1,000 to 1,500 visitors per day, a DigitalOcean, Vultr high frequency, or a Linode server might be good for you because it starts from 10, 12, $13 a month. You don't need to pay 35, 40, $40 a month for a small website, all right? But if you have a big network of website, for example, if you have a multi-site network, or if you have an LMS site, then that requires a lot of care, a lot of security protocols, and higher management, then AWS and Google Cloud might be good enough for you. All right, so these are some of the criteria that you need to see that before you choose which cloud provider is good for you.
That's awesome. Let's talk about scaling a little bit, because I get asked all the time this question, and I'm not a server and a hosting expert. So I'm going to pass it over to you so that I can send people to this podcast episode and this recording to in the video version to answer this question. So if somebody's starting out with an LMS site, and maybe they're only anticipating 500 or 1,000 students at first, but it has the potential to really scale up and get big. How should someone think about scaling? Like if they start on a lower plan and all of a sudden they get more traffic or their needs go up, how do they know when to scale, or does their website go down and then they need to get a bigger plan? How can they relax around the scaling issue and how to think about it?
All right, so scalability is like one of the main features why cloud hosting has been growing, that quickly over the past few years, and Cloudways makes scalability very, very, very easy. How we have a vertical scaling feature in our platform that allows customers to, scale up their server resources in just, 4 to 5 minutes. That's how long it takes for customers, to scale up their server resources. Now, when should they scale up, or how should they know that they should scale up their server resources? Well, we have a Cloudways bot. That bot basically sends notifications to customers regarding different things, right? Regarding security patches, regarding server resources, and everything. So upon 80% resource utilization, our customers get a notification on their email that, all right, you are about to max out your server resources. You either should scale up your server or you should tone down your server usage. All right, so this is a message that gets thrown at them at 80% resource utilization, so that they know that either they should scale up the server resources or they should tone down the server usage. All right. Apart from that, we have a monitoring feature on our platform which allows customers to see their resource usage every day. All right, so it gets updated multiple times a day. So what they can do is they can go to the monitoring feature, and then they can see that how well they're utilizing the resources. Are there any idle resources that are on the server that they should be utilizing, or are they about to max out the server resources? So these are different ways in which we help our customers to basically understand if they should need to scale up their server resources, or should they relax their server usage. So yeah,
That's awesome. That's super cool. A question again, I'm just going to keep pointing people to this podcast episode since we have such a knowledgeable hosting expert here. One of the questions we get is about speed. Like, how do we make our websites faster, or how does Cloudways help with speed?
all right, so speed is obviously one of the main issues that website owners face, and I'm constantly seeing threads in the community that how should I speed up my WordPress site, or how should I make it even more faster. People with 0.05 seconds of load time asking how should I make it even faster. So there's no limit to how fast you can make a website go. But in terms of the tactics or the tips you can use to speed up your website, server or your hosting plays a major role in speeding up your WordPress website. So at Cloudways, what we have is obviously we made sure that we have the top 5 cloud server providers that we can get on board. Obviously, we have DigitalOcean, Lionel, Volta, AWS, and Google Cloud. All these five are best in class cloud providers in the community. And apart from that, we have various different caching mechanisms that are working behind the scenes. Varnish, we have Memcache, and obviously we have the Breeze Cache plugin as well. Which works together to make sure that the server speed and the website speed is on point and top notch, and customers very rarely have issues on Cloudways regarding speed. So that's something that we have covered up pretty well in our offerings. So this is how these are some of the ways in which we help our customers to make sure that their website is in good shape, and it's performing well. Apart from that, there are a lot of things website owners can do to make sure that their website is performing well. They can make sure that their content is optimized, their images are optimized, they don't use too many plugins, their WordPress is updated, their PHP version is updated. So these are some of the things that are in control of the users. But what we can do behind the scenes regarding the servers, regarding the hosting, we make sure that we do that, and you combine all of those things, and the result is a super fast website. That is what we try to do every day, 24/7, 24/7.
That's awesome. Now, here's another thing that I get a lot is somebody's ready to move and they're looking for a solid managed WordPress host like Cloudways. They want something better than what they have. I noticed that you all offer a migration service included. Some people get really stressed out around a migration because it's a big change and seems like there's a lot of risk. What's the offer that you do with migrations, and then how should people think about the migration so they can be less stressed?
Yeah. So Chris, now that you mentioned that people are more cautious about migrating the website from one host to another, and I don't blame them, because it's a big change, it's a big process, and it's a sensitive process as well. If one thing goes wrong, it can really break your website. So you need to make sure that the process is safe, and it's completed on time, and there are no hurdles in between. So we have two options when it comes to migration on Cloudways. What you can do is, for WordPress users, we have the migrator plugin. Now the migrator plugin is free of cost. All you have to do is download that migrator plugin from the platform, and it will migrate your site automatically to Cloudways. Now that process may take up to 4 to 5 hours, depending on the size of your website. All right, if your site is huge, if your site has a lot of data on it, it may take a bit longer. But for a small website, it can migrate pretty quickly. Now this is one of the ways in which you can migrate your site to Cloudways. Another method is to use the support assisted migration. This is where you're gonna contact our support team and tell them that, okay, I need to migrate my site to Cloudways, and they will do the migration for you. So this is a more supervised way of migrating a website. This is one of the ways that users feel is more safer. But the users can use both the ways. They can either use the migrator plugin, or they can use the support assisted migration. Both ways are super safe and completely convenient for our customers. And it has opened a lot of channels for our customers to actually select Cloudways as their hosting provider, because the migrator plugin is free, and all the migrations on Cloudways are free as well. So you don't need to pay for any migration on Cloudways, regardless of how big your website is. So if you want to migrate one website through the migrator plugin, or if you want to migrate 100 websites through the migrator plugin, all of those are free. All right. So this is one of the main reasons why a lot of customers choose Cloudways as a hosting provider.
That's awesome. Well, that's great that you make it easy for somebody to switch. Talk to us about security, and people worry about getting hacked or having a DDoS attack and things like that. What do you do to help with security for your customers?
Well, that's one of the main issues that customers have with their website, because obviously if it's an e-commerce website, or if it's an LMS website, that there's a lot of data on the website, on the database, that users can't afford to be compromised. All right, so in that regard, what we do is, on the server side, we have a number of different firewalls. Right, we have the server level firewall, we have the application level firewall that makes sure that the websites that are hosted on the server are completely safe, and that no other person other than the authorized user can access the server, so that there are no mischiefs on the server or on the websites. All right, so this is one of the ways. Other than that, we carry out regular OS patching. Our dev team that is sitting behind the scene is absolutely competent into making sure that all the servers are safe, all the applications that are stored on the server are safe as well. Apart from that, we have the bot protection feature. The bot protection feature basically prevents bot traffic. You mentioned DDoS, so it basically prevents bot traffic from entering a website or logging in on a website. All right. So that is one of the free features that we offer on every WordPress install. All right. So that is another security feature that we offer. Yeah, so these are some of the different security protocols that we run on a daily basis to make sure that the websites that are hosted on the Cloudways server are safe, because technically it is our responsibility to make sure that they are safe. All right, the customers have made us the guardian for their website, and we make sure that we take that responsibility seriously. So we have these security protocols in place to make sure that the security is top notch, it's rock solid, and it's uncompromisable. So yeah. Apart from that, we have free SSL certificates for all the WordPress applications as well, which is a basic, security protocol that we need to follow, and all the websites should follow as well nowadays. So yeah, these are some of the things that we do to make sure that the websites are safer and secure.
That's awesome. I can see you as a company. You mentioned you're customer centric and you value the customer. It shows in how you approach support, which
Mm,
is really important for a hosting company. I hear people when they're with a hosting company that has really good live chat, they really rave
mm,
about it. So they don't
mm,
feel lost. You've
yeah,
got live chat, you've got the regular ticket system. You also have an add-on where people can get
mm,
the red phone or phone access, which is
yeah,
awesome because some people want that and they're willing to pay more for that. Tell
yeah.
us more about just the support or the culture of support at Cloudways.
All right, so support is something that every hosting company, is taking very seriously nowadays, because since we try to make hosting simple for our customers, support is something that needs to be, top notch and to make it top notch for every customer is really difficult. If we have, for example, a thousand different customers and all of them are using our support, so it's very difficult to make sure that all of those thousand customers, are getting the top notch support that they deserve. But we make sure that we are on point with our support, we are on point with our responses and our solutions, to make sure that our support is of the standard that the customer expect. We practice a lot of different things, indoors. What we do is we have started a Linux Academy at Cloudways. Now, what that Linux Academy does is that it hires talent from across the country, and then it trains them. So we have the experienced support agents at Cloudways who impart their knowledge on those young talents, and then those talents are trained, and then they are taken on board, and then they are included in the support team. So this is one of the ways that we have adopted to make sure that the support agents that we have are fully trained, are fully equipped with all the knowledge that they need to help our customers. Apart from that, we have started hiring customer agents from across the globe. I would say that Cloudways is now a global company where we have support and other people coming to Cloudways from different parts of the world. So we have support agents from Europe, we have support agents from India, from Vietnam, from different parts of from America as well. So we make sure that we have a whole host of talent that we can get from every part of the world, so that we make sure that the support that we give to our customers is top notch, and it's not of subpar value. All right, so these are some of the things that we practice, here at Cloudways, so that the support is consistent, and it's of good value.
That's awesome. And thank you for bearing with all my questions. I'm hitting you with all the stuff. And another one I wanted to ask you about is backups. Like if things go bad or and somebody needs to restore a backup or whatever, how do backups work at Cloudways? And do you have
All
to
right.
be a developer if you need to get or to use a backup to bring your site back online?
All right. So since our core value is to make hosting simple for our users, backups is one of the things that we have tried to make simple as well, through our backup management from the platform. What users are allowed to do on the platform regarding backup is that they can select their own backup time. That, for example, if they want to take a backup at 12 p.m. every day, they're free to do that as well. They can, set their own backup frequency. We take backups one per day, and they can, and users are, allowed to, change it to multiple times a day as well. And they can also change backup retention as well. So we retain backup for up to a week, but if users want to, retain backup for up to a month, they can do that as well. So we offer our customers different ways in which they can manage their backups and, make it more customized for their own needs. And also they can take backups of the entire server. Also they can take backup of particular applications if they want to. So for example, if you have 10 different applications on a server, you can either take the backup of those entire 10 applications, or you can take the backup of one particular application that you want. Similarly, you can restore backups of particular applications. So for example, if you want to restore the backup of application A, all you have to do is go to that application and restore that backup by choosing one of the timelines that they are available, and you will be able to do that. So these are some of the things that we have, implemented to make sure that the backups that are there on the platform are easy to manage for our customers, and it is easy to understand as well. We also have offsite backups. We take offsite backups on Amazon S3. If customers want to choose the offsite backups, they can do that as well. So yeah, that's an optional thing that we offer. But apart from that, we have made, backups really simple. You don't need to be a developer or a techie guy to take backups and then restore that backup. So that's something that we implemented on the platform as well.
Very cool. You mentioned having multiple applications on a server. What's an example or a common example of that?
All right, so there are multiple agencies. Yeah, for example, an agency has 10, 20, 30 different clients, and that agency wants to keep 10 clients on a single server, and then 20 clients on server B, and then 30 clients on server C. So we don't put any limitations on how many websites you can have on a single server. So for example, if an agency has 60 clients, and that agency needs to keep 30 on server A, 30 on server B, and 30 on server C, all he needs to do is launch 3 servers, and then host 30 applications on server A, 30 on B, and 30 on C, and in that way he doesn't need to launch 30 different servers or 60 different servers for 60 different applications. So yeah, this is also where we have made it simple for different agencies and different different advertising agencies where they have multiple different clients, but they want a single server or a single contact point where they can manage those websites and host those websites, and then they can run those websites from over there. So this is one of the examples that people use single server for multiple different websites.
That's awesome. Well, tell us about staging sites. I know when I build sites, I really need to have staging sites so that I can test things and experiment. What does Cloudways offer in that department?
All right. So how many, regardless of the number of websites you have on Cloudways, you can create staging websites for all those sites, and that the process is pretty simple as well. All you need to do is click on the create staging button, and it will create a staging website of that main website on the same server, or you can choose to create it on a different server as well. So that's an option you have. You can either choose to create it on the same server, or you can choose to create it on a different server altogether. And then obviously you can make changes to it, and then it is very easy to even push those changes to the live environment. So this is the reason. Yeah, this is the essential of creating a staging website, that you can implement changes, and then you can push those changes on the live environment. So that's very easy and simple as well. You don't need to be a developer in order to push those changes. So yeah, so even a beginner guy can do that as well.
That's awesome. What do you advise, or what are the options around email? Like if somebody wants to, maybe one person uses an external service like Google Apps and somebody else wants to host their own email. What are the options at Cloudways?
All right, at Cloudways, there is a Rackspace add-on. That Rackspace add-on basically allows you to host your emails on Cloudways. But that add-on obviously comes with a price. It's priced at $1 per month per email account. I'm sorry. So at $1 per month per email account, you will be able to host all your emails at Cloudways. So for example, if you have 5 different applications, so you will be paying just $5 a month for 5 different email accounts. So that's how cheap it is to host emails on Cloudways using the Rackspace add-on. I understand that Cloudways doesn't offer email hosting as yet as part of our stack, and I do get a lot of queries from different users that they have emails hosted on a different server, and if they move from that server to Cloudways, they will have to move their emails as well, which is a big hassle. All right, but to make it simpler, we have the Rackspace add-on, as I mentioned before. So Rackspace is something that is a very economical way of for people to host their emails on Cloudways.
Very cool. Very cool. Can you explain what you mean on your site when it's talking about pay as you go pricing?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
All right, so pay as you go is a unique pricing model that we offer. It means that you will be charged as you will be charged as much as you use the server. All right. So for example, if you have used a server for 15 days and after 15 days you have stopped using that particular server, you won't be charged for the entire month. You will be charged just for those 15 days. All right. So another example of this is, for example, you were using 2 GB server for 15 days, and then after 15 days you move to a 4 GB server. All right. So for the 15 days you will be charged for a 2 GB server, and for the remaining 15 days you will be charged for a 4 GB server. Normally, what happens is that you are charged for the complete month of the 2 GB server, and then you are charged additionally for a 4 GB server. So on that Cloudways, we have made it very simple and economical for our users through the pay-as-you-go payment model, that you will be charged based on your server usage, not on the entire month. So even if you have used the server for 2 days or 3 days, you will be charged for those days that you have used the server. Even if you have used the server for 1 hour, you will be charged on that hourly basis, not for the entire day or for the entire month. All right, so this is how we have made it, simple and affordable for our customers to choose Cloudways and enjoy the managed cloud hosting experience.
That is awesome. And is there any recommendation you have around or options within Cloudways around keeping WordPress and plugins and themes updated?
All right, so when it comes to plugin update, when it comes to WordPress core update, I would suggest that when the first WordPress core update drops, don't update it instantly. Obviously, because it comes with a lot of bugs and a lot of errors. It seldom comes completely finished. So what happens is that if you update a WordPress core update instantly, it might have negative effects on your website. So what usually is recommended around the community is that you wait for a month or two. It won't matter if you have a previous version of WordPress and you're running a WordPress website, for example, on WordPress 5.5, and the WordPress 6 is now launched. So it won't matter if you're running WordPress 5.5 for 3 to 4 months. That won't matter. But it is highly recommended that you wait for 3 to 4 months before launching, before updating your WordPress to a newer version. So yeah, so this is one of the suggestions. Other than that, keep your plugins and themes updated at all times, because unupdated plugins are one of the main reasons why WordPress websites get hacked and get compromised, because if the plugin is not updated, if the theme is not updated, it leaves different loopholes, because every update comes with a security update. If that security update is not applied, loopholes are left unattended, and then the website gets compromised. So again, if you have a lot of plugins on your website, make sure that all of them are updated, and just wait for 2 or 3 months before updating the core update.
Good advice there. What does Cloudways see as its approach to the WordPress community? At the end of the day, the internet is powered by a bunch of people. Yes, there's some technology there, but there's also a lot of people there. What are some things Cloudways is doing just kind of in the WordPress community, or how does it think about community in general?
All right, so community has been a huge part of Cloudways and its growth since the beginning. All right, we started when Cloudways began its operations. Community was one of the main channels where Cloudways used to communicate its offering and its values, and it's the WordPress community that has responded so well to Cloudways and its value, and we couldn't appreciate the community more, for whatever response that it has given us over the past few years. So we try to give back to the community as much as we can, and what we do on a regular basis is that we try to find out different content creators, different course creators around the community, and we try to make sure that they are going at a good pace, so that they can create more content, and that they can do more for the community, uh, by creating more content, by creating more useful content. So what we can do, what we are doing right now currently, is that we are on a hunt for different course creators that are creating courses on WordPress around the community, and we try to take them on board. We try to sponsor some of those courses so that they have the resources to make sure that their courses are are being viewed by more students. Obviously, more students means more success. Yeah. So we try to make sure that we take those course creators on board and we sponsor those courses, and we make sure that they are growing at a steady pace. So these are some of the things that we regularly do in the community to make sure that different people doing different work in the community are getting good response from the community, because obviously the community is huge and there are a lot of things that are getting thrown in the community every day. And new technologies coming, new course creators, new content creators are coming every day. So there's a lot of noise and it's very difficult to break through that noise. So we help different course creators, different content creators to break through that noise and make sure that their content is available to people at large. So these are some of the things that we do in the community, because we feel that it is our responsibility to make sure that the community is growing as well. Because if the community grows, it gives way to a lot of new products in the community, not just hosting, different plugins, different themes, getting developed day after day. So this is something that we make sure that we do, and it is our responsibility to give back to the community.
That is awesome. Moise, my hat's off to you. The thing is you can't fake customer-centric culture. So just to tell a little story, I remember when somebody from Cloudways reached out to us about adding Cloudways to our recommended hosting list, which is very short. And we only do that when we know our community is really happy with a product. And so I went out into social media and other places to check with our users about who was using Cloudways, what they thought about it. And I just got a flood of positive feedback around the support quality, the price, the product itself. It was an easy add to our list, which happened a long time ago. So we added it on there, and you can tell just looking at your website. I can tell in this conversation, even in your main menu. Currently, as of this recording, we have a book a demo link where somebody can schedule a call with a real human being to discuss their needs and frustrations or whatever. Like that shows a focus on the customer, not hiding behind the website kind of thing. So I appreciate it. It's I knew that already going into this conversation, and I'm really glad to get to know you better and learn more about Cloudways and how Cloudways approaches its product. Do you have any final words for the people or things you'd like them to check out at Cloudways?
Yeah. So Chris, you mentioned that we have been very customer centric. So it has been a process, right? So we haven't been the best since day one. All right. So we have learned, we have tried new things, we have failed, and then we have tried them again in different ways, and then we have succeeded. So it has been a process, and people and the community has been a huge part of that process as well. The feedback that we get from the community, as you mentioned, that you got some feedback as well. So we have been, we are always on the lookout for some feedback, regardless of it is a positive feedback or a negative feedback. There is always going to be a mixed bag of feedback that you get from people who are your customers or ex-customers or people who are hosting their website elsewhere. So it has been a process of trial and error. So over the last 8 to 9 years, 10 years, we have made sure that we learn things and then we try to implement them as best as we can, so that the customers get good value from our product, and then they are made sure that the price that they are paying to us is completely justified. Yeah. And also for our customers, I would like to say, you mentioned that there's a book a demo feature on our platform. This is something that we have initiated very recently, and I would suggest, I would encourage the users, the people, the viewers who are currently seeing this podcast to make sure that you at least book a demo and then see what Cloudways offers, what Cloudways is offering to the customers, and what we basically do and how we operate. So it's something that is very interesting. We not only to sell the product, but to get feedback from users, that what they would require in a product. So if we get a demo, we try to make sure that we get as much information as possible from that particular person, that what he basically is looking for in a hosting provider, and then we can go back to our drawing board and then implement those things in our product, and then come back again to make sure that our product is better than it was yesterday. All right, so these are some of the things that we do on a daily basis. This is something that we have taken up as our responsibility, and we make sure that our product is something that is of good value to our customers.
That is awesome. So that's Moise. He's from Cloudways. You can head over to cloudways.com, sign up for a plan or book a demo. Moise, thanks for coming on the show and sharing your story and the Cloudways story with us. We really appreciate it. And it's great to be on the journey with you.
Thank you, Chris. Nice to be here, man. Nice talking to you.
And that's a wrap for this episode of LMScast. Did you enjoy that episode? Tell your friends and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And I've got a gift for you over at LifterLMS.com/gift. Go to LifterLMS.com/gift. Keep learning, keep taking action, and I'll see you in the next episode.